Amen.
It's recording. Hello, welcome to This Might Be a Cult. Finally starting up again because we have a solid plan on how to run things, even though I forgot to bring up the list on how to run things. So, hello, introduce you guys yourselves. Someone start.
Hello, I'm Peanut Arbuckle. I'll be your peanut for the day.
He's actually Sir Winston Pickles. If you see the name down there, it's like, how's he gonna lie?
I go by a lot of names.
Fair enough.
He said he didn't see Sasha right.
No, not yet.
Okay, the person above me on the screen. Then go introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Ladoo. That voodoo, that Ladoo.
There we go. You can see we don't practice this and we're pretty terrible. Guy to the left of me, or right, whatever. It doesn't really matter, depending on how you interpret it. Sir!
Hello?
I'm gonna mute him for a second. Boo.
Oh,
He's muted. Okay. Hello, I'm Hygag, Michael. Or, as my thing says, Merp. I don't care how you refer to me. Let's continue on, friends. This might be a cult, and we actually have a plan for how we're going to discuss things. And honestly, it doesn't really matter what order we do it in. So, we're going to discuss, talk about why building a community is important. One of the things that I personally think would make it go a lot smoother, and we're going to argue about what makes a good community, and discuss. Discuss is a better word. We're going to talk about spiritual topics, because why not? I try to connect everything to spirit and how we are all one anyways, and it's going to be a lot of philosophical stuff, and for the heck of it, discuss what could be controversial topics, even though I believe everything is going to be controversial to someone, because let's be real, there's going to be everything to offend someone out there, and that's the most important thing. So, where do you guys want to start? I can unmute. Oh, can you introduce yourself now? You're muted. Go.
Hello.
Hello, introduce yourself.
My name is Marvin.
There's some people that should probably not be talking with their face on the internet, and I think all of us are in that fucking group. So, let's continue on, friends. Where do you guys want to discuss? Community, spiritual, philosophical, or do you want to just open up with something controversial? I'm going to leave it up to, this is why we have dice to roll, actually. I didn't roll real dice. Danny, give me a number 1 through 4.
3.
Ah, God, I have to decide first. Why? I counted with you as 1, Marvin 2, me 3, you 4. I was really doing this so I could put it on you guys, if I'm not going to lie.
Then roll a D3.
I can't do that. That's not fair. You know what? Because it's me, we're going to start with something controversial. Okay.
That's what I was going to suggest anyway.
We're going to start with something easy. That's a little less controversial than topics that could get us canceled. Woohoo! When does
canceled when you're never on to begin with?
That is fair. They'll cancel people that were never on to begin with and turn them on because they're canceled. They'll put their face to so many people, but they're still canceled.
We get canceled just by the look of us. Look, we look like we're up to no good. Look at us.
Especially Danny with his short hair over there. He's not even helping us out.
Nope.
Are you blonde on top of your head too, Danny?
I am blonde. Yes, I want blonde.
He thinks he's a 90s boy band.
Yeah, dude. He's emanating some shady vibes, dude. Like
Okay, controversial topics, friends. Okay, so when does democracy break down? And when I asked him this question the other day, he mentioned the whole concept of it depends what kind of democracy. Rather than go about it what kind of democracy, at what point, what are the factors that could cause democracy to break down as a whole, as a system? We're going to start with, and this is when I get to roll a d4 and just re-roll, because I just want to ask you guys questions more than anything. I'm just going to the online roller. And you're a geek, Marvin.
I just got these at a garage sale today, dude. I'm livid, dude. I got a steal. Old Superman and Batman comics, bro.
Nah,
I'm about
Okay,
to read. I'm about to read
Marvin.
the shit out of them, bro.
Marvin, calm down. You're the first person to start. When does
Okay.
democracy break down? And I'm gonna listen while I go outside and damage my lungs for a second. I'll be within earshot.
When
But-
tyranny overcomes democracy,
And-
and when people are so comforted by their luxuries, they no longer care about democracy or not. You know, people overwhelmed by day to day and all our responsibilities. Man, I ain't got time to go riot. Who's got time to riot? Not
You know,
me.
I got a job.
I really like that response, Marvin. It ties into one of the main
Yeah.
things I think about it. Okay, Danny, you're next. Sorry.
I think when you give
Go.
that's thick shady. I think when you give women,
The clap back.
I think when you give women and minorities the ability to vote, I think that's when democracy starts working.
Okay. You said the offensive thing. Now give a real. Now say something real before I have to shame you.
Dude, that was legendary, dog.
It was
Well, I think it goes to that time. Strong men. Oh man, I'm gonna get this wrong. Strong
Make
men create
easy time.
Yeah, that easy times create weak men. Weak men create hard times.
So when the people are weak is what
And
you're
we can
saying.
create Bitcoin.
It's
When
hard.
everyone's too complacent, and that's when the schemers will get up to their schemes.
Okay, I like that. So, Ledoux, what do you got to say about this?
Well, I agree with Marvin, and all the points have been solid. I'd probably say when the people who are trying to get into the leadership positions are allowed to lie, and just spread misinformation and stuff, when the common people also don't think about things and aren't able to discern what's real and what's not, just kind of following whoever screams loudest.
Okay, you're touched upon a great point as well. For me, it's when the people become so either, as like you do, just put so misinformed that they're not voting with 100% of the facts, or in general, people that refuse to inform themselves are allowed to vote, because when you have uninformed voters, everything breaks down, and especially when people don't actually know the character of who they're voting for, and there's something that my buddy said the other day. I forget the exact term, but it's as long as you can hear the bell toll. Like when you're in a community where everyone knows each other, call it a bigger tribe, a smaller tribe, whatever. Democracy, like I would call it the classroom setup. When you're voting for class president of a single class, let's say, then guess what? Everyone knows that person. Doesn't matter whether they may have a wrong idea about that person. It becomes easier to get the correct information if people go out and seek it. So when it's a smaller communities, democracy is quite excellent, but it rapidly gets to the point of where people don't actually know, and then we're so separated, people don't actually know each other, and we're all voting because of the tribal mentality, and we get the them bad, us good mentality, and because I just walked in and I had to. This is Murph, everyone. He's a grumpy boy, but he likes my snuggles. That's what I tell myself. Yes. He's a big thickums, though.
This is my beer. It makes me happy.
Oh, I made myself a drink, so Cheers, sir. They say drink to be filled with spirit, right?
Drink and be merry, dude.
Let's do it. Remember, Jesus partied. You don't turn water into wine unless you like to have a good time. And it rhymes, so it's true. Okay.
That's right.
That was a quick, easy topic. Unless anyone has more thoughts on that, because I'm curious what if you have any other thoughts you want to expand upon. I'm looking for the topics that get you guys to debate each other.
Well, I would add also when the leaders, people who are in leadership positions, can run away from questions. That also kind of breaks everything down.
Yes.
Accountability.
I
Yeah.
personally wouldn't talk shit if we had like a really good leader and they were just like, I don't want to go to meetings, and they're hiding away from the least important meetings. But if they can lie, that's not okay. I really like that. Excellent point, Ledoux. Well,
Right.
I was also talking to somebody who they lived in a housing co-op. So like everybody that lived in this big house had an apartment and they all had a say in what was going on. For them, democracy wasn't really working because it's just like, you know, if 5 people wanted something, then 4 people just get screwed. So they went with a consensus kind of way where they all had to like talk the issue out as a collective. Like anybody who cared about the outcome had to put in their 2 cents.
when you can actually discuss things, shit works out a lot better, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it.
Ledoux, you ain't shit, but that was excellent. Marvin, you ain't shit as well. I haven't said that. And Danny, you're all the shit. Okay, it's fun to remind since we didn't talk about it. They say male friends who roast each other are, I think the metric was 300% more loyal. I don't remember the exact metric. The people who took it probably weren't shit anyways, but I like it. So it gives me an excuse to talk shit to each of you.
Wait, friends who pig roast each other?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lord of the Flies.
Ooh. Lord of the Thighs.
Ooh. Oh man.
First
I
off,
gotta
go
take
drink
a-
water, Danny.
Water.
Because you're thirsty.
What the fuck's water?
Okay, I'm gonna roll another dice, and apparently a topic isn't controversial amongst us, so it's fun. Hey, guess what, Marvin? What do you want to talk about? Community, a spiritual thing, or controversial? We continue with controversial, but whatever you choose will actually go along on probably longer and have multiple topics in a row. We can sprinkle controversial in between.
a little dollop, just a little dollop of controversy, maybe.
Was that your answer? Another dollop of controversy, or?
Yep.
Oh God. Okay. Do you have a topic you want to
You
discuss?
gotta keep them segregated.
Okay, we're gonna ignore what he just said there. We're all white, sir. You're not
Talk
helping.
about my laundry, bro. Gosh, out of context, dude. Yeah.
You're like, did you not hear me? I used a P sound, not a G. Just don't listen to it again.
That's the song I sing in my head when I'm doing my laundry with the whites and then the colors.
You're white.
Oh,
Otherwise,
okay.
I pour bleach on the other ones and I just ruin my whole wardrobe.
See, look, guys, this isn't offensive because look, at least my cat's black. He's got a little white, but I swear it's a tie. Okay.
Is it
Okay.
black or is
I
it
shouldn't
purple
say
on the
anything.
inside?
Okay, sir, I've got a couple of comfort topics then. Do you want to go on the topic that you and I discussed the other day? Do you
Good.
want, what?
We could.
Do you want to tackle something like... because this will offend people. What is neurodivergent? That's a topic that has controversy. And there's more to go on it. Or, is testing cruelly on humans always wrong? I'll give you 3 topics to decide between.
Okay, so that was 2,
And the one we discussed the other day is the 3rd.
which was my bad.
That was the thing that will offend a lot of people in California if you don't go about it properly.
The over glorification of the trans, or
That's not how I phrased it, personally. I would phrase it as transsexuality. Like,
Okay.
what are your views on it? Like, how do you view that it should be handled? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, the same as all sexuality is it's handled in the bedroom in your home. So,
It's a much wider topic than that.
Thailand.
What?
you know,
Okay, I
It's
guess
a
this is the
different
topic we're
Thailand.
going down. So start, Ledoux. Sorry, go.
Oh, I don't really care since it doesn't affect me. I don't have
Exactly.
much input other than jokes. Yeah, it's
let's hear them.
How about not right now, please? Just give actual legitimate points right now. This is too sensitive of a topic for me to say go.
I think just the people who want to engage and become transsexual or be in a relationship with someone transsexual is that's their business.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's doesn't I don't know, it's like most things, as long as it's consenting adults, and I don't really have much care.
Okay.
Okay,
Marvin?
spin question for you. You enter a relationship with a person of certain sex that you believe, right? And then 4 months in, the truth is revealed. How would you feel about that?
I mean, if I was fooled up to that point, it must doesn't really bother me.
Okay. So
That's an interesting
the
point.
fact-
Like starting your relationship off on a lie though is not good.
That's a very
Well-
good point.
Did they say that they were the gender that I was looking for, or were they?
Was it omitted?
You entered into a relationship.
Sorry, what?
Like I'm just saying, like, okay, so the lie thing, bar the lie thing. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, one night stand. You go take the pants off and that wasn't known. How would you feel about that?
That
It
happened
would
to
make
me.
you feel oh really?
Wait, can we
Yeah.
let Danny go first then, real quick, and then
Yeah,
Ledoux?
yeah.
'Cause-
So
Tell us the
I met this
rundown.
girl. I met this girl at a bar, and we had gone on like 3 dates, and by the third one, she came back to my place, and we're doing ketamine, and it is at that point, as she's getting naked, that she's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I have a dick," and like, and yeah, that was my reaction too, and like. Had she told me from the beginning, I would have reacted differently, I'm sure. But I definitely was surprised, caught off guard, and it kind of rubbed her the wrong way. But like,
Was it bigger
the
than
way she-
yours?
no, it was actually tiny, which was thank God. That was so
wait.
Micro.
So, did you say she said it as she pulled it
As
down?
she was pulling her pants down, yeah.
So you had no chance but to be like, oh.
No,
That's
it was
like
just
that's like when you're at your weakest, dude. That's messed up. That's like a trap. You know what I mean?
yeah. And then she was kind of offended by my reaction, but it's just like, first of all, I'm very high right now, and you were just kind of threw me a curveball after being on several dates with me and not saying jack shit.
So
Okay.
you went up the K pole, not the K, down the K hole.
No, she put on her pants and was like, "I'm calling an Uber," and I'm like, "That's fine."
You're like,
Yes.
please. Okay, Ledoux.
Had things been
Did you dap
differently,
her up and be like, "All right, bro, peace"?
No.
Okay, Ledoux, answer his initial question, please. We just had to hear Danny's.
Sorry, that was very
what-
relevant to my life.
Ledoux?
Can you remind me of the initial question?
It was specifically like if it was a one night stand, and I think Marvin phrased it as they didn't tell you, right? Like, if you were put into Danny's situation, how would you feel? Is that basically the gist of your question, Marvin?
Yeah, because I mean, like, even with Danny's example, bro, like, there's a lot of like, you know, like a lot of mischievousness there. Like, why wouldn't you, like, if you were so comfortable about it, like, be comfortable about it and be upfront, like, hey, What's up? This
Okay.
Adam's apple.
Let me say one thing. It's
You
unfair
know what I
to,
mean?
on some level, for you to expect them to say it up front. I can understand why there's a lot of fear when people who are trans often go through extreme bullying, physical violence, and stuff like that. So it's hard to expect a person to straight up front because they have to get through a lot to get to that point.
Okay, so to get through a lot was to go and do K with somebody.
I'm not.
It's a
This isn't
it's a
about
vulner-
Danny's. This isn't
That's a
about
vulnerable
Danny's.
state, dude. That's a vulnerable state.
Yeah, no.
Use K
This
with horniness. You know what I mean? That's
isn't about the.
now your chances of doing something is you went from 0 to 13%.
Marvin, yes,
you know,
but
you're rigging the odds. Now they're just a casino on walking around.
Marvin,
Casino on foot, dude. Rigging the odds against us,
yeah.
dude.
Marvin, we're not talking about the person Danny specifically. We're not talking about down to doing the substances, I think, because Danny's situation was a little bit different. This is more along the lines of, it's understandable for a trans person to want to get to know someone before they reveal that they are trans, because that way they can determine if it's a safe person to let know, is all I was saying. Now,
At the moment of cunnilingus exchange.
That's going a little
when the
far,
blood
in my opinion.
to the fullest through the phallus.
It should have been
ready to go.
I'm not arguing that it
That's
should
a trap, dude.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
a
not.
trap.
Once again, that's why I said this isn't. We're not connecting what I said to Danny's place, because yes, they should have revealed it to Danny before he was put in an inebriated position. That's other than
maybe
that's
while getting ice cream, just like, oh, by the way.
2 prior dates. We had 2 other dates that we hung out for many hours.
Before anything gets physical, I believe that someone should reveal that information, because otherwise you're taking away a person's rights. However, I don't know, since I'm not trans, I can't say, oh, they should reveal it at a certain date, because I don't know. I've not experienced the physical danger they can be put themselves in. So we have to be aware of it empathetically to an extent. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's all I want to be aware of. So now, Ledoux, you've been quiet for a time. It's your turn to say something.
I mean, I do think if you become comfortable enough to get naked in front of a person, I think maybe a little before that you might be comfortable enough to reveal that you're transgender. Not?
Yeah, because you feel that way in your body, right? Like, I felt like this forever. So why is that not something that you would tell somebody that you want to get in a relationship with? How you feel?
Well, once again, once you're at the point of wanting to get into a relationship, you should be comfortable enough to share. But we always have
3
to take
dates is a relationship, bro. You might as well pop the question at that point. You might as well get on one knee. 3 dates.
We all have different definitions of that. At this point, 3 dates. I went through a lot. I'm gonna say I'm gonna need more dates than that to feel like I know a person enough to date them. But also,
it was enough to do some K, though. It was enough to do some K, huh?
We've all been young enough to need the confidence of substances, or for Danny's case, he just really likes K-sex.
That's very true.
Okay, here's where I'm going to put it out next. At what point should they be allowed to expect people to refer to them by their preferred gender? And Marvin, you're going to shut up right now. You're going to listen to people first. And I'm going to put you on mute just to make it safe. So say your last thing before you're muted.
Wow.
He's smiling and laughing because he knows there's a reason for this. Okay, so we're gonna go on. What are they allowed to expect if you transfer genders? Can you expect other people to refer to you as your preferred gender? What can you expect? Because a lot of that time becomes an expectation. What do you guys feel about that?
Can repeat that question?
Okay, a person transfers trans person change genders, right? Male to female, female to male, doesn't matter. They both apply. Can they expect you to refer to them in a certain way? Like if a male transforms is the word I want to use, into a female, can they now, even though they're born male, can they expect you to refer to them as her, she?
To an extent, yes, but I've seen people get carried away with it when they want to be called he, she, and they, preferably on the same sentence. And I've had someone do an example for this, and it was just like, no, that's way too. That makes my fucking brain rainbow wheel when I'm trying to. So to an extent, yes.
Okay. Ledoux?
I would say that it's fine for them to expect it or to want that, but there are going to be some people who aren't going to respect that wish. And I mean, it's just like growing up, there have been people that have referred to guys as girls as a way to demean them, or just even though the person is not. It's like a straight dude that's getting called a chick, but it's just the. So I feel like it is acceptable for a trans person to want to be and to expect to have their desired pronouns used, I guess. But I have to recognize that there are people out there that just won't care. And the trans person is then should be free to not associate with that or continue if whatever they feel is appropriate.
Okay, I like your response. Marvin, you're no longer on timeout. Say all the things you want to say.
Yeah.
A man of many words.
Of course, it's the perfect timing. So, well, I'm gonna say before I let Marvin go on a tirade. I personally think you can't expect anyone to expectations are what cause suffering. If you Oh, I think he got a call. I'm gonna when he shows his face, I'll switch back to him real quick. So basically, you can't expect anyone to. Oh, there we go. I'll wait. Go, Marvin. Your turn.
My bad. I got a call. What's
It's
up?
all good. It's your turn. We're still on the same subject. Now your turn. Is it okay for a trans person to expect someone else to refer to them by their preferred pronoun?
It's man. I feel like to be impatient and not let people settle into who you are and then expect shit out of them is already kind of like unreasonable. So, like, I feel like to walk up and be like, hey, I need something from you, and not hear what that person thinks or views about stuff is kind of like, that's not the right course of action. That's kind of like if I was like, hey, I want you guys to call me Orca Lord. You guys would
What
be
up,
like,
Orc Lord?
you guys would be like,
I mean,
know,
you're ugly
like-
as an orc anyways, so might as well.
yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, whatever you say, dude. You know, insecurity is a shitty thing. You know what I mean?
It really is. It really is, and I aim to make you more of that. I'm kidding.
That's all good.
I love you and your beautiful face.
What I'm saying though is like, still to the tone of what I was talking about before, like in your household, in your community, and within your group, you know, that's something that would be fine. Like, I don't think you frown on that, but like to meet people for the first time and then expect all these things out of them, nobody does that, you know?
Okay.
Like,
so
that's not a norm. That's not a norm we have. Like, I don't walk in and then expect everybody to refer to me as, you know, something else, or I don't know.
What up, Orc Lord?
Yeah. Orca Lord, dude.
I thought that was the first thing, and then he referred to you as orc, and I saw the joke, but I could make orca jokes if I want to, but I think I just say too much.
So I mean, like, beyond it all, dude, I actually have interactions with people, you know, that we're talking about in my life, and I interact with them like I interact with everybody else, and they don't expect those things out of me. So, you know, I accept them for who they are. I don't hate on them. You know, I may say some jokes here and there, but I feel like people joke about me here and there too. So it's like, it's not nothing out of like I really hate these people or anything like that. It's just kind of like Um, everybody has a chance. Everybody has a chance to gain my respect, and I give my respect to everyone. But like to start asking and expecting these things is like that means that you don't care about what I'm thinking or how I'm feeling, but you want me to care about you. So if you
Okay.
really want love and affection, give love and affection. You know what I mean? Don't just expect shit out of people because you're a criticized group or whatever. You just earn your respect like everybody else does. And
Okay.
I have been through experiences in life where I used to be a gay basher a long time ago. Like, yeah, and then I was in a situation where the only person that helped me out, and I was in a dire place, was someone who's gay, and that changed my mind on everything because anybody has the ability to show love in the moment, and that's all it is. It doesn't matter about any of that. As long as you're showing love, then everything's all right. If you're gonna come in there demanding shit, waving your hand around, feeling like the world's wronged you or something like that, then you're gonna get a different response. If you have understanding and love, that conquers all, and you can get, anything can happen. I just don't. I just don't like to be told that
You
I
have
have
to do
to.
something.
My feelings are not valid, or
Yep.
how I exist is not valid because I'm being negative towards someone else when I'm not.
That was beautiful, good sir. Danny, you're the one usually on sound effects. A little disappointed.
Oh.
Need claps.
I didn't know that was my job.
I mean, you're the only one that's ever done it before, so of course it's your job. And now you're thick shady. Okay, so I really like the way what you said, Marvin. That was absolutely beautiful. My main thing about the whole thing is you can't set expectations of how others are going to treat you, because if you expect things from others and you're taking away their freedom, the chance for their beliefs, whether you agree with their beliefs or not, a part of humanity is always going to be separated with these beliefs, and we need to allow each person to evolve, especially through circumstances like you went through, where they're shown why other people can be compassionate, even though they would have been bashing them before. And the most important thing is, when it comes to how a person identifies, I personally believe we should just identify as ourselves. Because if I said, hey, I'm Michael, I identify as myself, you could tell me you're not yourself, you're not Michael, but guess what? You'd look like the stupid one. I really like what you all had to say. So that was glorious. That was glorious. I think we should jump over to something less controversial now, because I should not be discussing all these topics at once. So at this point, it would go to, I've already done it, so I don't know who I think it was Marvin's last one I chose. So I'm just going to point up because I can connect. Ledoux, community or spiritual discussions?
Probably just do spiritual, whichever's more controversial.
Does free will exist? That's controversial enough. And all three of you, I think, are on the same side, though I don't remember. Danny may or may not be. So we're going to start
the spectrum.
First off, did you just say I was autistic by saying that?
I said you said we're on the same side. I think you mean the spectrum.
Are you saying I have the tism, sir?
Yeah, I identify as not autistic, dude.
Not autistic, okay. First, let me get back to being offended at Danny.
Respect me.
Danny, did you say I have the tism?
Yes.
You're not wrong. You ain't shit, but you're not wrong. I'm gonna go cry and be outside while I listen to you guys, because I don't want to see your faces for a couple of minutes.
Oh, he's quick with it. He's quick with it. Oh,
Danny,
shit.
Danny, you're all the shit, and I love you so much. Okay.
Hey.
Danny, you're going to start out the discussion. Does free will exist? Yes or no? Why or why not?
Something I think about a lot, and I don't know. I tend to think myself into like circles, and then I have to
Give
Go
us one
smoke
of
a
those
cigarette or
circles
something?
right now. Give us one of those circles.
Oh, like, all right, like, where do our thoughts come from? Like, are our thoughts just us being controlled? Like, are our thoughts actually our thoughts, or is someone thinking for us?
Okay.
And where do our motivations come from? Is it actually our motivations, or is it something programmed into us by something else?
Or our parents.
Hey, Danny, I think you should lead this part by asking questions. Ask these questions and choose who you want to ask the question to. And we can always expand on that same question, but choose a question in that same sense from that spiral and ask a specific person from the other three, me included. So go. Ask one of those questions and then direct it to someone.
Ledoux, where do your thoughts come from?
The exchange of hormones and chemicals in the brain, and just kind of a culmination of my experiences, both lived and learned. And then, I mean, there's also just the basic ground instincts, self-preservation, hunger, lust, like everything. It all
What do
kind
you
of
lo-
comes together.
Where does your lust come from?
It comes from
My
the
balls.
thoughts, bro. Ha
Probably hormones. My balls.
I think that's the best answer you could give to that. Okay, Danny, do the same thing. Ask this one of the questions. Question from a thought spiral about free will to one of us. You can go back to Ledoux again if you'd like. Don't matter. You're in charge right now.
Or high gag.
I don't care how you refer to me.
Hold on, I lost my train of thought.
I apologize.
Thought train.
Michael, where do your motivations come from? What motivates you? And do you think it comes from within or from external forces?
I think my motivations come from a combination of my genetics and my upbringing and the experiences I've had since then to now. Like, if you're gonna say, like, the best way to say it is my motivation to show everybody love and affection comes from the fact that I wasn't shown very much, and I know how, like, heavy of a feeling that can cause, and I want to brighten other people by asking them how they feel, because I never got that. I want to make the world a better place for all the people that didn't get what they got, like me. But I likely would not have that intrinsic motivation unless I had gone through what I've lived through. And I'm blessed to have gone through all that, because wanting to help people as a motivation, wanting to make the world a better place, even though it sounds like a silly and stupid ideal, it's what a lot of people strive to do but aren't able to do in our current system.
That was very nice.
You ain't shit. Too much niceness.
let me hand this off to you because I'm struggling and I'm
That's
scared.
fair. Well, now let's just segue into the free will concept. Danny, you can go into listening mode, and I'll ask you about your thoughts as you hear each of us compounding upon them. Okay?
All right, let's do it.
Okay, Ledoux, free will, does it exist? Yes or no? Why or why not? Try to keep the explanation within like a minute, 2 minutes max, so we can go back and forth between each other.
I think it does, because I consciously decide whether or not to go through with an action or not. But I also question why it would matter whether it does or not, just because from the point of view of, if I am programmed and just an NPC, then I have no way of attaining free will. I'm just going to fulfill what I was designed to do. So and if I do have free will, then I have free will, and so that's cool. If someone else is controlling me and I'm like a playable character, I feel like I'm just an extension of their free will. And so while it might not technically be mine, I feel like I'm just an extension of that person, and so I would therefore still have a free will.
Okay. Marvin, your turn.
Um,
I got to get used to the reverse on that. To Marvin.
um, yeah, that one's interesting because I feel like you can start out having some kind of free will, but it is influenced by external forces like your parents and environment you're raised in. But there's a point to where like you start discerning between like whether you want to be a positive influence or a negative one, whether you want to be a masochist or an example or something, So I feel like the free will it does exist because in that moment you do have the option how you're going to continue on. And as you add on um these burdens, I feel like burden of decision, they tend to influence your continuing free will. So like if someone's addicted to something, you know what I mean, like that becomes a heavier and heavier weight upon their thought process and their daily actions and uh, how they carry themselves. So at that rate, like you still have the free will, but it's not strong, because you don't have the capability to say no. You're like, you don't have the strength that you once had. Whereas in the very beginning of it all, you were, yeah, I can, no, you know what I mean? So,
Okay.
uh, you ultimately do still have it. It's just harder and harder to see with the more decisions that you make that limit your free will. I feel like
Okay.
that stifle your free will.
Okay. So my thoughts on this are free will does not exist because if everything arises from a series of patterns, you know what I mean? Our genetics are patterns, like which those our genetic patterns are give way to our predisposition, right? And if everything we have experienced colors why we do what we do, how can free will exist? Now, the important thing to consider is that the belief in free will typically means people who believe in free will typically are more mentally healthy. They believe they can handle their situations and get out of it. Okay. And however, the more educated people become, the more research that is accumulated, the more knowledge they acquire, and typically people of higher IQs, more often than not, argue that free will does not exist. Now, the greatest thinkers are often those with the biggest depressions, the heaviest thought patterns, and they're the ones that are most fucked up in the head. Because without madness, there's no such thing as genius without madness. Now, that does just because free will does or does not exist does not mean, even if it doesn't exist, it does not mean that you can't choose with what you have to do better for yourself. Because if you believe you have control over how you handle what you've been given, that's the same thing that equates out to belief in free will. But even that there must be reasons or factors that you have that belief, because if you're told your entire life you don't have that thought process, you don't have free will, you don't have this, you become more of a materialistic, it doesn't matter what I do view. But you can have free will, or you can have a lack of free will while still saying, I'm going to do better for the world. I'm going to do what I can to make the world a better place. It doesn't matter whether I go through hardships or not, I'm going to do my best with it. Now, there's also research that says when they had people hooked up to like some machine that look at their brain or whatever, and they said the moment you think about doing something, do it. Okay, they'd find that the unconscious mind always lights up before, like hundreds of milliseconds before the actual process of doing something. So that shows our unconscious mind actually dictates our conscious actions. And if our unconscious mind dictates our conscious actions, how can we have free will? Before we go back to what?
I was just saying that it has an input on our free will, but we still have our conscious mind deciding whether to go through with that suggestion that our unconscious mind made or not go through with that suggestion.
But that's
'Cause, like,
also
in
an
the
aspect.
But in the study, they were told you're going to just go through with your first thought. So they weren't then enacting their free will to decide I'm going to or I'm not. They'd already predisposed themselves.
But
And
that's
in a sense, they used their free will to predispose I'm going to go through with it.
Okay,
Mhm.
let me say something real quick. So there's a test that I'll give you guys all the test. What is it? If it takes 5 machines 5 minutes to make 5 fidgets, let's say fidget spinners, how long would it take 100 machines to make 100 fidget spinners?
5 minutes.
Got the correct answer. Now, here's the thing. Most people, when it comes down to this test, your first thought is, oh, it goes to 100. Then you're like, wait a second. I'm going to step back. That doesn't make sense. Oh, it's 5 because machines make them in 5 minutes. That is something that you were taught how to do. So without being taught how to do it, you would never be able to learn. You have to learn to assess the situation and think before acting. Now, people, just because you now have the process in thinking that way, it doesn't necessarily argue that free will does exist. It just argues that you were taught how to assess a certain pattern in a more proper way.
Would you choose to learn?
Yes, but you have to have gone through experiences that teach you that choosing to learn is going to be the best route. Because you can teach people things, it doesn't...
I mean, when I was a kid, I wanted to read like the encyclopedia, and I wanted to learn even before I had experiences that gave
Children are
positive
curious, though.
reinforcement to learning.
Children are naturally curious, but continue on.
That was mostly it. I was interested in learning before I knew it was a good thing.
Same
I
here.
just wanted to learn.
Same here, because children are, what is it? I think I don't know if this is an accurate statement. I'd have to look into what they said. They're like, they did research that how many kids are actually geniuses. Oh, actually, a lot more kids are born geniuses. It's just the way they're taught, what they're taught by their parents, their school systems, everything that beats them down makes them less likely to access not only their natural curiosity. When we're growing up, our minds are the most have the most plasticity, or what is it? Where basically we can learn languages growing up at a younger age because we're absorbing more information, right? And so children are going to naturally want to absorb the most information because that's the time when their brains actually can absorb and hold that information more easily.
Until they're indoctrinated.
That, and once you get to a certain age, it becomes harder. So, yes and yes. Danny, let's hear your thoughts now. You've been listening to things. The same concept. We're just discussing free will. Does it exist? Yes or no? You've been listening to our arguments.
Yes, I have. Dude, I'm on the fence. Like, if free will doesn't exist, then what the fuck am I doing here?
That's why they say the belief in free will is the most important part for living a healthy life, but that doesn't mean it exists. So now, remember what I said? We're doing what we can with what we have because we have the ability to think. I think, therefore I am. Just because you're thinking doesn't mean you have free will, but you can make the best of what you have regardless and try to enjoy life and make it for betters. Because saying, oh, I don't have free will, so I'm just going to go screw over others, that's just a giving up mentality. We're better than that because we ain't shit, right, guys?
We ain't shit.
Woohoo! You guys are all the shit, I promise. I love you all so much. And that was also like, you ain't shit too. Thank you, Danny, for laughing at that obvious statement of that was a fallacy. Okay, so we can always come back to the free will conversation anytime. Unless, Ledoux, you want to talk about it again, go.
I just had one quick question for the study you mentioned about the unconscious brain lighting up for decisions, or before they made their decision or before they made their action, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you consider the unconscious mind not you? Or is the unconscious mind still you?
Okay, how do you define you? Because I think we're all one. We're all one. You know what I mean? So if we're all one, you is me, you. All of us are that you, are that I. So it really depends on how you want to ask that question, because I'm just a separate instance of my ego.
In reference to your free will, is your unconscious mind when it makes the decision, is that your free will or is that another entity's free will in your mind?
How about I'll let you know how I've always kind of discussed this. And Danny, you've seen this happen. You know how when I'll be like having a debate or something, I'll say something and then surprise will dawn over my face for how well and smooth
Yeah.
it came out. And I'm like, that was back of the mind, Michael. That guy's a genius. This guy, absolute idiot. But that guy, brilliant. That's the best way I can tell you. I will not say yes or no because I don't freaking know. The best thing I know is that we're all connected on the electromagnetic spectrum to each other more closely and strongly with our friends, but we're connected to all other humans through this interwoven pattern. And if we're all just a singular consciousness, the unconscious is probably the most us that we could ever be, but this instance of ego is me. This instance of ego is Marvin. That instance of ego is Ledoux. That instance of ego is Danny.
Okay, so
I
following that,
identify as Free Willy the Orca Lord.
That's right.
Does that mean your
Oh,
willy
yeah,
is just
Willy,
dangling
Orca-
everywhere as you're swimming?
Of
He
course.
does not wear underwear.
I just had to know. Okay, see you in your pool
Free
later.
Willy, baby. Free Willy.
Free the willy and the titties. Okay. Unnecessary comments. Did that answer your question though in the best way I could answer it, Ledoux?
Well, I was like, I feel like the way you're describing it, you view the unconscious mind as the free will and the conscious mind as something hampering the free will.
Not really, because I don't believe in free will in general. I believe in everything is from an instance of patterns that's like from the Big Bang, the way everything spread out, the systems that we cannot even fully understand or comprehend yet because our understanding of physics is ever evolving, is what has allowed to rise for the circumstances that are. And every particle's specific placement is what has arisen to those patterns, creating the pattern that is the Earth, the patterns that are the rainforest, the patterns that underlie everything that have led to us now. So we are all just a series of patterns reacting based on the patterns that we have seen and that we have understood and perceived and the way we perceive those patterns specifically.
Right?
So, is there any movement in this? Is there any all these if all these patterns are in action, right?
And they underlie everything.
Why think?
Because that's what if we're all one and the more we become separated, the more we struggle. Like as a society, the more further we separate from our community, the more we bring on these depressions, these anxieties, everything. So why should we not think about how we could enjoy our lives more, how we can make it better for others? Because that benefits us, that benefits others, and that brings us closer to acting as one unit, which is, if we're all one, is the most logical thing to do.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
if we're all one, then is there still a choice to be united and be as one?
It's a hard choice for people to make.
If everything is dictated by patterns, then like how do we put our signature on it? And that might be the ego talking, but
yes,
like
it is, but the ego is a beautiful thing because the ego is what is necessary for us to exist in this state and to understand ourselves so we can understand others. What is the entire point is you look at the patterns, you point them out, and you try to break them by showing fact, by showing what is true, by representing it yourself, by teaching, by making people aware of those patterns.
So what about where does the pattern work out that some people will like do really embarrassing things on purpose?
How by doing that they gained laughter, which made them feel more at home. They feel by making people laugh, by making people look at them in a certain way, they got the attention that they likely sought or received in childhood that they had been missing or that they'd become accustomed to as a sign of love. So if by doing these things, they can also possibly bring in monetary. They can bring in things that improve their life in a certain way or the way they view it. Because we're not going to just actively do things unless we have to. Like the best way to phrase it is why do people stay in shitty relationships for so long? It's because that's what they're accustomed to. That's what they think they're supposed to do, unconsciously or even consciously. It's the same thing. Why embarrass yourself regularly unless you think it's what you're supposed to do, whether you're right or wrong? I'm listening still, guys. Just walking away for a second.
What about sacrifice? When does sacrifice come
Okay.
into play with patterns?
First-
Because that makes no sense.
First, I'm going to.
Why would a pattern sacrifice itself for the benefit of the greater good when the pattern is obviously formulated for a reason?
Because just because a pattern has led to survival does not mean like it's always the best. Like borderline personality disorder doesn't mean it's a way to make yourself feel like safer. I guess it's an active way of making yourself feel safer, but it doesn't mean that it's actually good. All mutations exist. A mutation making it further in the evolutionary train, whether it's mutation of a thought, an idea, or of a species, does not mean it's right or wrong. It depends on how long it takes to push it to survive, whether it's going to survive or not. Just like cruelty and compassion as a whole are always going to rise and go. Like cruelty, the more it rises, at some point it becomes a system that does not work. Just like pure compassion ain't going to be a system that's going to work forever. You know what I mean? It's always going to get corrupted at some point. But the thing I was going to say when you bring up sacrifice, I'd like to mention that in America, we don't hear about them throwing virgins in volcanoes. And it's really fucked up over here. Maybe we should start throwing virgins in volcanoes again. Just saying. Just saying. Okay, I'm done. Thank you, Danny. The laugh track really does make me laugh more than my shitty joke.
I just don't think there's any active volcanoes left over here.
Yeah, because they haven't seen a virgin in a while. God,
That either.
we forget about the gods, man.
They're all on Epstein's island, dude.
They don't have
Not for
virgins
long.
over there.
Well, they start
Not
that
anymore.
way.
Yeah, they're not wasting them on a good. They're not fucking tossing them into a good volcano. God, they don't know how to handle their virgins over there. Keep them pure. Okay, we're done. We're done on this Epstein little list.
Release the list.
I'm gonna come
So we
back
can
to
talk
Dan.
about it and not do anything about it at all because we're so comfy in our homes.
But there's
With our
one thing
Wi-Fi.
we can state
Release
that
the list because that's the easiest stance to have, you know.
okay, and even if they released a list, you know that list is gonna be doctored. Like, let's be real.
Dude, even if it isn't, bro, if they said your next door neighbor was on the list, like, what's gonna change, bro? Are you gonna make a stand about it?
Prisoners handle pedophiles better than the system does.
Yeah, because it's a closed system. This system is too open. There's too many variables. There's too many comforts. If I make a stand over here, I'm gonna lose hours at work, which means I'm not gonna have a dope vacay, dude. I'm not gonna be on Cancun sipping mojitos, dude, on the beach, dude. I'm limiting my own comfort. So
Yep, and that's what the system wants. Now,
Yep.
What I was going to say is, Danny, I'm going to come back to you next time we do this about free will, and I'm going to have you go through that thought spiral until then. And then I'm going to ask you the same question.
All right.
So, since it was okay, guys, how do you think the word God should be defined in a way? Well, I actually think I looked it up. What do you think is the best definition of the word God, personally? Let me ask that. Silence.
the meaning of life.
Oh, I like that. God is the meaning of life. There we go. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. You're getting better at this. It was delayed, but soon it won't be. And you could probably
get better.
Yeah, you could probably build up your own bar of specific ones, or it's like most recently chosen, huh?
That.
You're
Right.
All right,
Danny.
Red Band.
I love you so much. Whoa.
I hate that one.
Okay. Okay. Do you have an optimal definition? Your idea of God, or what you think the best definition is? No hedging. Simple definition. I was asking that to Ledoux, but you go, Danny. You go.
No, do Ledoux first. Let me work on my English.
Probably the highest power, I guess.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Danny?
Creator.
Okay. I'm going to say, to me, the concept of simplest definition of God, to me, is any higher form of consciousness. Like, you know how they say we're all interconnected on the electromagnetic spectrum. They find that out. So now, what if we're connected to Gaia's electromagnetic spectrum? What if we're just germs to Gaia, like germs are to us? Now, at that point, the sun would be considered a higher consciousness in that same sense, a consciousness that could not be understood. If electromagnetism is a part of how consciousness acts and connects to each other, which I personally would argue that it is, because everything is electromagnetic and everything connects to each other, at least at a certain point or size, and when it's life itself. So I think higher unknowable consciousnesses are what we could argue as gods or God. And to them, even larger consciousnesses and larger spectrums would be that their germs too would be that for them. So we're gods to the germs in our body. And also all piece of God itself.
The definition of God is me. No.
Ledoux? White Jesus! There we go, Ledoux. Let's throw that at you. We'll see you on that cross soon, sir. Make life better for all.
A rough way.
What?
That's a rough one.
But if you make life better for me, I'm okay with it. Yay, Ledoux!
He definitely didn't go to Epstein's Island, not Ledoux.
Yeah, I promise
That's
he
fake
would never
news,
be there.
bro.
Release the list, Ledoux.
I was
Okay.
just the pilot.
I was just the pilot. That's a great excuse. I'd use that in court if I were you. Okay, let's move it on to one more. The one I mentioned that I think is hilarious. Okay, I have to look up the base underlying argument because I just read it and I was like, I can connect that to Christianity, so probably could be true in other traditions. Okay, something fell, I don't care. Hair being connected to spirituality, spiritual power, stuff like that. Now, even in Christian...
All right.
Boo! Boo, Wendy, boo! Okay, so... hair being connected to spiritual power. Even in the Bible, when Samson had his hair cut by Delilah is when he lost his power. So it could be connected to Christianity, and I'm sure there's other beliefs that had argued that. I just remember reading it or hearing it that was a thing. And I'm very
Did
much...
the carpet match the drapes?
Well, if you're
Real
honest
question.
like Danny and don't dye your hair blonde, then yes. Faker. I hope a woman cries when you don't have blonde pubes.
Dude.
I hope you actually frost them just because I said that.
Do you call your member Little Peep because it's frosted, dude?
Ah! Okay. So,
She said, "I'm a
fun thoughts.
crybaby."
Ledoux, actually, you'd be the person I'd want to ask this about. Because you're the one who cuts your hair and donates it regularly and just grows it out. You cut it off for a very good reason. But you also I don't imagine you like getting your hair cut either.
I guess not. I generally just don't think about it. As long as it's not in my eyes, I don't really think about it.
Next time you're going to cut your hair and you're getting close, I feel like we should do a just a bunch of random tests to try and connect to spirituality, connect to spirit, and see if it becomes easier or harder as your hair gets cut off and stuff like that. Because that would become a fun. We could just test it amongst ourselves. Because I'm not gonna cut my hair. Like, I know it would be kind to donate it to people, and I'm sorry. Like, I only have one person on Earth I even allow to cut my hair, and even then, Jenna knows I'm uncomfortable with it. I'm not okay with it. I'm just there because she told me it's time. So
The last time I did cut it short, it did feel weird.
it always feels weird, but we have to figure out why does it feel weird, on what spectrum. We have to measure it scientifically because that's the right thing to do. But I have to do air quotes because it's hard to argue using a scientific method with matters connected to spirit, but it should be something that is tested regularly, consistently, and even when it fails, should be tested again.
It's got to do something with like the fungal network connection.
There's actually,
the-
yes, I've heard actually before that this person was trying to argue that fungus is a big part of connection to spirit. Not even magic mushroom wise, just that psilocybin spreads itself throughout the earth. And they had a really good argument, and I cannot recall it. But I was like,
It was all it's all fungal network. They're able to transmit if one fungi is able to digest a new nutrient from the other side of the world, the message is transmitted to all fungi within a matter of minutes because
Is
they
this-
share all information. Yes.
and this is actually
Because-
something that's been tested and proven true.
This is legit. This is legit. So when
Holy-
yeah, so when like in harsh places like super cold or super hot, the fungi can only digest, certain things, and when they learn the information to digest a new thing, it transmits that throughout the whole network. It's
So-
all connected.
So
That's why that's the whole thing of spirituality is that connection. If
Yep.
there's no connection, then
So, okay, the person, they made an interesting argument as part of it that I remembered. They're like, look, they're like, I feel that stuff has started going bad. The more we put people in mausoleums, the more we keep people out of the earth itself. We're not burying them straight. We're burying them in coffins. So the mycelium is not allowed to eat them and gain all the information that it's supposed to have so the earth can adapt. And I was like, and that very much connects to what you said, Marvin. So, Marvin, you're all the shit. I'm proud of you. You're a beautiful man, even if you're an Orca Lord.
Free Willy, the Orca Lord. Thank you.
We try to bleep out the Free Willy, but, it's hard to blur such a massive schlong. There. For you, sir.
Oh, I'm blushing, dude.
Well, you're white. You're always going to be blushing a little bit.
No melanin here, dude. Melaninless.
I'm here for that. Okay, so now let's move over to some stuff about community. And the most important what?
I actually gotta go. I'm a little bit late.
I
Okay.
gotta go shortly too.
Okay. Well, I just want to discuss if you gotta go, Ledoux, say your sign out right now, say goodbye, and we could do something real quick. Or you could be a part of it real quick.
I'm running late, so I gotta go.
Later.
Bye.
Good having you, man.
Night, y'all.
Good night, dude.
Good night.
Peace.
Okay. Now Ledoux's gone, we can have a good time. Okay. Had to be said.
That's messed up, dude.
You're gonna offend him. Good.
Wow.
I've
You have
been
to go,
shaking.
dude.
I've been shaking this so much. Yeah, Merp and Snuffles weren't in it. Okay. So, basically, we could just leave it on this basic note, which is when it comes to building a community. Oh, look, the moment I put the camera out, Snuffles was like, I want to go love on Merp, and Merp was like, I don't know. Screw off. Okay, so,
One sec, I'll be right back.
of course. You know what? Danny, what thoughts are going through your head right now about what we've discussed, what we've learned, what we've talked about?
Oh, this is fun, and I look forward to doing more of this.
Yeah, I want to try and do this like more often, preferably like even more than once a week, so we can just have a bunch of stuff just continuing going out. And this is how
I
we.
just like when all of us are together, like
Yes.
all of us.
That is optimal the best, 100%. And I'm enjoying asking questions, listening to responses, and being like, that was a great response. I have not heard a response, so I'm just like, okay, sir, I'm gonna have to say boo. Except, you getting better at doing the sound things. If I don't boo you, you'll never learn. I'm kidding. I love you and I appreciate you so much, sir. But honestly, I think I had fun. I think a lot of fun things were talked about, and the way you guys went about it is quite excellent. And I'll have fun asking you questions as you absorb, because I feel like you want to absorb and then hear what everyone has to say and then make a response based on that.
Yes.
I will keep that in mind, sir, because learning is what we should always be doing. Okay, so now that Marvin's back, thank you for rushing back this time, sir. He's a Russian, guys, and we're going to make a lot of terrible jokes in relation to that. They're going to be endless.
Rasputin.
Oh, yeah, Marxist MERP. That was a good one. So, guys, why is MERP the centerpiece? Because look at that yowl, that angry scream against capitalism. It's not because he's, like, my first pet and I made the thing, so I was like, that's what's happening. It's because he's Marxist MERP. Boo you! Boo!
The hackers have arrived.
Your boos only make me stronger.
I'm trying to favorite that.
Well, you hurt my feeling. You hurt Merp's feelings, and let's be real, he's not here anymore. You're lucky. Basically, when it comes to starting your own communities, because if starting your own communities will allow for a closer community, allows for everyone to know each other, allows for strengthening of bonds and better mental health. Okay, and it's going to be something we're going to discuss, like why these things are important. One of the things to consider is when you start your own religion in the United States or a nonprofit religious community, and the doctrines will grant you certain religious freedoms. That's why certain people are allowed to use certain substances ceremonially. Now, when you say we are all one, okay, and if we're all one, then strengthening community becomes the most important factor. Now, if that is part of your religion, the way you handle your community becomes more up to your group and how you guys build the religion itself. We're going to be trying to develop certain frameworks to help y'all along, and probably just releasing the frameworks of what we've started as we get there, you know what I mean, and putting it out to the world so y'all can say, hey, we want to just tag into that so we don't have to think, we can focus on other things, or you can just take what you like from what we've started and create your own. I don't care, as long as the world's becoming a better, happier place. Handle it how you want, y'all. And since that's the most important thing I wanted to mention, at least as we end it, so that we'll start off with this next time. And but we're gonna end it with one more controversial topic. Danny, choose a controversy.
A controversy.
I don't know. Everything's controversial at this point.
The Islamic invasion of countries.
I don't say tapped into news. But they are. A lot of people are saying it's time of Revelations, the end of the world. We're getting there, and if the if people are using that to spur on war, like a sense of crusades, the people at top are the ones that are profiting, because sending people against each other to die is never for the people who are dying. Well, I'm not going to say never, because in a smaller circumstance, I may be like, tribal will be like, you're going to have to go die, defend our village. Now, sometimes you got to make some sacrifices, but
every religion, every people have the good and the bad, and the good never make it on the tabloids.
That is actually very accurate, sir. There we go.
Yeah, so
war is not good. It just creates more separation.
You can't pick sides, man. You can't pick sides. You can just pick ideas.
Pick the side of the people. Pick the side of we want the best for the people, and the best for the people isn't going to come out of pointless wars. Now, when you're going to say that you're going to war because you need to feed your people, and if it's actually accurate, and the neighboring countries aren't supporting and wanting to help you out in your famine, I don't know what to say. Go kill people so your babies can be fed, I guess, because I understand that. But when we're all connected as a world, multiple communities, war won't be exactly necessary, because just because one place is having a famine doesn't mean a place far away isn't, and you can't get food there to help them. It's one of those things that the more connected we are, the better we can support each other, and the further off war becomes, because war does not benefit those who are going to war more often than not, especially not in this world, the world we live in today.
It's hard to think about all the rare earth minerals that you got when you're hungry.
Yep. Okay. So, think that's a good place for us all to end it so we can relax, guys?
Okie dokie.
Okay. And we're going to try and make this happen more often, because it was fun hearing what you all had to say. It was awesome telling Danny he ain't shit. I love you, Danny. You're one of my favorites. And guys, just so we know, the logic behind you ain't shit, you're all of it, is because you must first understand that you ain't shit to truly understand that you're all of it on the path to enlightenment. Because when you realize you are actually nothing, but you are everything at the same time, you understand the interconnectedness of everything. Fun thought. That is all I got. Anyone want to end on some note?
Nope.
Danny's note should be asking him about what's. No, I'm not even gonna make a joke anymore. But your story made me laugh earlier, Danny.
I'm full of those. If you need to pull up some time.
How was it, dude?
How was it? It would have been. I would have got like some head if I wasn't so caught off guard.
Right.
Danny
Did it
is
shrivel.
She did not look like I thought she was just a regular ass woman. It completely took me off guard. I was like, what?
Yeah, usually, Go.
Usually you can tell like a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, like
Well, Adam's apple or something.
there's some like you can see the person they were before, but with her I could not.
You're one of the most like accepting too when it comes to that. Like we've had conversations, you're like, I really don't care. Like as long as
I just like she would always like I don't know, it just seemed like if she's lying about this, like a lot of stuff she told like we were talked about like was probably bullshit. She probably lied about a lot of things if she was lying about this.
Yeah.
though it could be said that at the time the ketamine did make them more willing to. Well, if they're going back, they were already ready to take off their clothes. Let's be real.
Yeah, dude,
they were.
Not always.
We were
I should say.
supposed to-
One second, real
we're
quick.
supposed
Not
to go
always a
back to
guarantee.
my place. Good.
Okay, I just have to make a statement on my comment. Just because someone goes back to your house with you does not mean they're going to sleep with you. That was poorly said, but Danny knew.
What about all the
had
rap
discussed-
music we listened to?
We had discussed this prior. Like we're gonna go, and then
Yeah.
when we got there, we did a little bit, and then she's like, "Oh, by the way, like,
Yeah.
by the way, this isn't a
Yeah.
by the way."
At least not for you, bro. It was a
Yeah,
straight the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it wasn't even like a Hermes situation. It was just like a one thing only.
Oh, no. It was just she had a little Mexican dick.
Okay.
Wait, so she said, by the way, wham, whip out or what?
First
Pretty
off, if
much,
it's
yeah.
tiny, you're not really whipping much. You're just revealing.
It was just-
But
Flopping.
yeah, it was-
you
by
don't
the way,
flop unless you got something to flop. You gotta have some
there was
meat.
a flop. There
You
was a
said-
flop.
See,
Maybe her
Danny
balls
would
flopped.
know. He's
Huh.
seen.
Her
Dude,
balls maybe flopped.
if you're gonna go that way, you might as well, reach higher, right?
If I wasn't like so out of it, I probably could have like finagled that and turned that situation around. But there was no. It was.
Dude,
Okay.
you, bro.
I'm
Whoa.
peeking, and so was she. If you know what I mean.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was Danny's. That was Danny's little comments. Long comment on signing out. Marvin, you got something to say?
Nah, man, that does the trick. Danny killed
Danny.
the stage. Did he drop the mic, dude? I can't follow that, dude. Drop it. Hey.
Woo! All right, guys. Well then, deuces.
Christopher
Hope.
Columbus over there, dude, finding new lands, dude.
Y'all, good night.
All right.
You too,
Good
y'all.
night. Peace, love, unity, respect. We're out.
Good night, y'all.